People believe that there are two types of businesses. There's a for-profit and there's a nonprofit, right? But the truth of the matter is there's only one type of business, and that's the business for profits, period, right? Because a for-profit business and a nonprofit business both needs money to operate. People have automatically attached nonprofit with the idea of that you don't need no money. You need profits in order to run your nonprofits, because not only do you need to cut a salary check for yourself, but you actually need a team. You need a team. You have to run operations. You have to have systems. You have to have treasury. You have to have board meetings. You have to have all of these things. Plus, you got to be able to have the money to serve, which means that you can't run a nonprofit for free. Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about how to make more money in nonprofits. So if you have a nonprofit, you're definitely in the right place. I'm going to be sharing with you the common reasons why most nonprofits are broke, so that you don't make those mistakes and you can actually learn a strategy to help your business grow profitably. So those are some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today. But most people start a nonprofit is because they have hearts to serve, right? And serving other people is the greatest thing that you can do as a human being, in a way that not only it satisfies your mission, right? And nonprofit organizations are designed with giving in mind, right? Am I right about it? But why are nonprofits not receiving? So I started my nonprofits, and I remember not knowing a lot of things, not having a lot of skills. And then I remember as I began to develop those skills, it began to help me actually make money developing certain skills. And so I wanted to show people how to actually use their life skills and actually to make more money, which ultimately can help you alleviate yourself out of impoverished situations, right? So that's the reason why I started my nonprofit. I'm like, wow, you can use your gifts, your skills to actually make money. I didn't know those things, right? So that's the reason why I started my nonprofit. You want to be a philanthropist, right? You want to have a heart to serve. You want to help people, but you don't have the money to do. So there's so many nonprofits, which is why I'm talking about this today. There are so many nonprofits because I get it now, right? I didn't get it then. When I started my nonprofit, I had no money, no capital, no grants, no anything. So a lot of times we're starting nonprofits broke. But you went through the process of getting your business, your LLC registered, and getting your 501c3 and applying for all of that. You went through this daunting process without a plan and without a strategy of how am I going to fund the nonprofit. You cannot run and operate a business financially totally and be stable and be consistent and be able to serve and be able to have impact off a grant. Grants are free. They come and go. They can fall out at any given time. They have conditions sometimes that disables you from being able to do the things that you want to do, because until you learn how to actually build a business that has money and cash flow, and to think about ways to generate revenues and not just depend on the grant, you will remain a broke nonprofit. You will remain inactive with the inability to actually serve. So two things. Number one, yes, nonprofits are businesses that actually need profit. And on top of that, with that, did you not know that you can have a social enterprise? So every nonprofit that I've ever seen that actually succeeded also had a social enterprise leg component, right? Which means that they had a for-profit leg attached to their nonprofit purpose. You have to have both. You have to have a for-profit business where you're generating revenues. Then you can actually redirect some of those revenues to your nonprofit purpose. You have to have a for-profit business that generates enough revenue where you can fuel some of those revenues and redirect some of those revenues to your nonprofit purpose. Okay, what are we talking about here? All the nonprofit status means that you have a tax-free option. That's it. Doesn't mean anything other than you have a tax-free advantage. That's the only advantage of having a 501c3. You have a tax-free advantage. Maybe you can get some stuff for free from corporations that serve nonprofit. Maybe you can get some free groceries from the grocery store for your events. Maybe you can get some things that are tax-free because these large philanthropists or large corporations, they can use that donation as a write-off for them, so they're benefiting. But how do you benefit from your own nonprofit? Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you're enjoying it. I wanted to take some time to invite you to join me in the GovCon Challenge. The GovCon Challenge takes place once a month, where I invite a bunch of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs to come and have me teach you the 5 things you must do to pre-qualify your business to land lucrative contracts with the government. So join me in the GovCon Challenge. Click on the link in the description. You'll be glad you did. Join as VIP for exclusive behind-the-scenes information, and you could become a part of the top 1% of entrepreneurs across the nation. Now back to the video you were watching. You have to have a for-profit and a nonprofit working together simultaneously. You cannot run a business or make profits just out of your heart. You can have a good heart, but you also have to have a sound mind of how we're going to get this money, period. And one of the best ways that I've seen on how you can get the money to activate your philanthropic nonprofit duties is to actually get the money from the government. Make the government your partner, right? What better way to activate and to fund your nonprofit than to make the government pay for it? They already have the money, right? And you could get a government contract as a nonprofit, but you can actually get more as a for-profit. So why not position yourself as a nonprofit and a for-profit? You have 2 entities where you're getting money from the government that funds your philanthropic journey, that funds the things that you want to do from the bottom of your heart to serve other people. Because when you actually are a servant, so contracting with the government, the best way to position yourself so that they can award these lucrative multiple 6-figure, imagine that, multiple 6-figure, multiple $1 million contracts to you, is you have to say, here's how I can serve. Now, what that does, not only does that increase your profits, makes you highly profitable, right? But now you have the money to pay. You can pay an executive director to go after more contracts. You can pay a staff and a team to serve the people. You can pay in-house for your accountant person to make sure that your nonprofit is compliant and that they understand how for-profits and nonprofits work together so that you can stay compliant, right? The best investment that you can make is into something that's going to teach you how to multiply your wealth, right? So the more you pour into your money mindset, the more you pour into your knowledge base of how the truth and how things really works. So if you go to govconchallenge.com, then you can actually register to join us in the next challenge. 5 days, 90 minutes a day. You get to learn how to partner with the government. What do you need to have? Who do you need to become? How to position yourself? How much money is on the table so that you can actually turn your nonprofit business into a for-profit mastery, right? By partnering with the government. So join us at govconchallenge.com, you guys. That's it for today. We'll check you next time.